Davis Hanson is a historian. He's a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution, and we're proud to say a frequent guest on the show. He joins us tonight. Professor, thank you very much for coming on. So calculate, if you would, in non-monetary terms, what you think the costs of these various Russia investigations have been to the country.
Well, I think there's sins of commission and omission, because while this is all going on, Tucker, we've cracked 3% GDP. We hadn't done that in 10 years. That's not an abstract number. That means millions of people who were not working now have an opportunity. I really see it where I live in southwestern Fresno County. It's a human story. We have peacetime unemployment of 3.7. Remember, just 2 years ago, Larry Summers said this was the stuff of fairy stories, and Barack Obama said you need a magic wand. We're increasing oil production at 1.5 million barrels a year. We're the largest oil producer in the world. Nothing hurts Russia more than that fact alone. There's no such word in the English vocabulary for peak oil anymore. So there's a human story going on. This is not even talking about progress overseas, and we're just completely uninterested in it. I don't know why, because a lot of very poor people have leverage over employers for higher wages that they never had before. And the second is, there's a really inequality of the law. I mean, we talk about elites, but think of the array of people who have not told the truth. Andrew McCabe was fired for lying to federal investigators. We don't know what's going to happen to him. So far, he hasn't faced criminal charges. But the Inspector General said he was lying. James Comey's statements about the FISA court and the role of the dossier are not true. James Clapper lied under oath to Congress. John Brennan lied under oath to Congress. Susan Rice lied when she said she did not request surveil transcripts and have them unmasked. We know that Huma Abedin and Cheryl Mills lied when they said they did not have knowledge of the email server of their boss, Hillary Clinton. That's not even getting into the deception of the FISA court or the way that the investigations went on the email scandal or putting informants in a presidential campaign. So the second thing, it's really, from a historical point of view, we've had a lot of wrongdoing by elites, and there's been no consequences. So the American people are not paranoid. They're saying, well, the Mueller investigation's going here, but they're going after misdemeanors or nothing, and here these felonies go completely unaddressed. And finally, this Mueller investigation is not in isolation. We had, remember, from the day Trump was elected, we were told that the voting machines were fraudulent. We're going to sue. And then there was in a group, remember about the Electoral College? We had to overturn, get to the electors. And then we went to the 25th Amendment that Trump was unbalanced, and then that didn't work. Then we went to the emoluments clause. He'd profited even though his businesses had lost $1 billion. And then we gone to the Mueller. And so there's a slow motion, if you will. I don't want to be too psychodramatic like MSNBC guests, but there is sort of a slow motion coup to overturn the elections when we should just take a deep breath and say we have a chance to adjudicate this in the next 2020 election, and we do not want to destroy over 2 centuries of American constitutional jurisprudence. Because we know historically, Tucker, when you have, whether it's successful systems like ours or the Greek city-state of the 4th century or Rome in the 5th century AD or the Byzantines in the 15th century or the ancient regime in Rome, why do they fall apart? They fall apart because an elite no longer warrants the respect that they think that they deserve, because they're out of touch with the people. And we have a whole bunch of people on questions of global warming, as we see in Europe, or immigration in Eastern Europe, or here at home, that feel that they can on high dictate to people, and they're never subject to the ramifications of their own ideology and policy. And it's like the emperor has no clothes, and then they're surprised that Trump won, or surprised that people are rioting in Paris. What do they think was going to happen?
If they were wise and had perspective and made good decisions and cared about their countries, it wouldn't bother me. But they're none of those things, unfortunately, as you know. Professor, thank you very much.